And next up, we got how wolves broke the game. Yeah, no, if I run into a pack of wolves, I'm just going to assume death or try and pet them like dogs. I feel like if you come across a pack of wolves, all you can possibly do is just act like they're good dogs, because you're not gonna outrun them. You're not gonna. They can climb. I think they can climb, right? If you can't climb a tree, just act like they're good dogs. Just act like they're good dogs. Just gotta pet them on their head. Just gotta pet them on their head. Because you're gonna die anyways if you try and run. You might as well. It might work. It might work.
At the height of the Ice Age, the Tundra server was filled with incredibly overpowered beasts. Smilodon's Saber Fang perk enabled it to one-shot nearly any other player in the game. The short-faced bear was seemingly invincible, being the largest carnivorous mammal build of all time. And the cave hyena had an absurdly powerful bite force, able to crack bones and tear incredible amounts of flesh with every bite. Yet, of the Ice Age's top predators, the one which proved to be the most resilient, and indeed the most successful, was the wolf. Even though wolves are nowhere near as massive or as powerful as these other Ice Age monsters, today the wolf build is practically synonymous with ferocity and hunting prowess. But what is it about wolves that made them such a force of nature? Today we'll find out. So, wolves are part of the carnivoran archetype, which became popular during the Miocene update. The main perk of this archetype is something called carnassial teeth, a trait which greatly improves the ability of carnivorous builds to consume food. Rather than needing to swallow things whole, or mercilessly slam-dunking the daylights out of things until they fall apart, carnassial teeth enable the player to bite off small chunks of meat, which might seem like a small thing, but really it opens up tons of new opportunities for carnivorous playstyles, including for scavenging carcasses and for sharing larger kills among teammates. The carnivoran archetype is split into two main factions, feliforms and caniforms. There are a ton of differences between these two, but I'll try and simplify them into how the differences play out.
What's the difference?
Practice. At their core, feliforms are adapted to being hyper-carnivorous ambush predators, whereas caniforms are more generalist in nature. This is most obvious in their snouts, which have different shapes and lengths. Caniforms tend to have longer, less compact snouts. This enables them to carry a wide range of different types of teeth, suited for a more omnivorous playstyle. You have some teeth for dealing damage, some for shearing meat, some for crunching bones or nuts, and even some for chewing on plant fibers. Meanwhile, feliforms have shorter snouts, enabling them to have a higher bite force, but limiting them to pretty much only having teeth meant for either dealing damage or shearing off chunks of meat. The longer caniform snout gives them other advantages too.
Like, do you think this zebra thinks he's gonna make it out of this? Or do you just think he'll survive? What the hell would you do if you were this goddamn zebra? You just gotta run for your motherfucking life.
The longer caniform snout gives them other advantages too. The larger nasal cavity enables them to breathe more efficiently and intake more oxygen. This gives caniform builds much greater stamina, enabling them to run for much greater distances without tiring. It also facilitates their vastly superior sense of smell, which enables them to track prey, scavenge for food, and find teammates. So it makes sense why just about every feliform build is an ambush predator, whereas caniforms can be anything from acrobatic marine builds to slow tanky herbivores.
You see, like, he just gave up. Like this one just gave up. Like, the wildebeest just gave up. He don't even got you that bad. You gonna bite him back? Like, what would he do? Yeah, bro, a lion's not expecting to get bit back, bro. Do you think they're thinking that far? Do you think they're thinking that hard? Like, this nigga, bro, homeboy gave up. You got horns, bro. Beat his ass.
Focusing more specifically on wolves, though, pretty much everything.
Bro had a little ass bite. He said, I'm done. You got me. He wanted to go. I'm not hearing that.
For a more in-depth analysis,
let's take a look
at the wolf's base stats. So, as
you ever bit a dog on an ear? They don't exactly.
Ferocious as wolves are thought to be, their power stat is fairly mid for an apex predator. Wolves aren't really going to be one-shotting anything larger than a rabbit with their bite attacks. And due to the non-retractability of their claws, they aren't going to be doing much damage with their paw swipe either. And yet, taking out players above their own weight class is a signature aspect of the wolf's strategy. This is typically done by chaining strings of bite attacks together in order to inflict the blood loss status condition, which drains the target's health and stamina over time.
See, blood loss is overpowered. Even in Elden Ring, that is still the most overpowered playstyle.
Executed properly by a pack of wolves,
this can bring down basically most overpowered
no matter how large the target. But obviously, since this is not a quick process, there's a lot of room for mistakes. So let's see how wolves handle taking damage rather than dealing it. So due to their lower defense stat, wolves are going to be mostly relying on their agility to avoid damage. They aren't totally defenseless, their thick fur and general bulk does allow them to absorb a few blows if necessary, but it's mostly there for warmth, not combat. Their stealth stat is a similar story. Their gray fur overcoat does offer a moderate stealth bonus, but is primarily there for warmth and can be easily spotted except against a few specific backgrounds. As I sort of mentioned during the segment about caniform versus feliform builds, the perception stat is central to the wolf's game plan. Their ability to track scents is quite literally one of the best in the game, able to detect smells from miles away.
How did you find that out,
Lucky?
Lucky?
Top tier perception stat doesn't end.
What did you just try and do with your sister? I want to own a wolf. Motherfuckers are cute as fuck. A full wolf would scare the fuck out of me. Cause like, bro, have you seen how actually big they are? People don't realize how big wolves are. Wolves are big as shit. I would like a wolf dog though. I'll take a wolf dog. They're like slightly bigger. I mean, no, it's the same. That's a real wolf. That is not a bro. That nigga is huge, bro. That nigga got lied to, bro. That's a wolf, nigga. That ain't no wolf dog, bro. You got lied to, cuz. That's a whole ass wolf. You see, now that's a wolf dog. Nigga's a little small. Nigga, that is a wolf.
And at olfaction, their sense of hearing is also exceptionally powerful. While many players believe the cat's hearing is superior, in reality they are roughly equivalent in terms of pure sensitivity, but are fine-tuned for different purposes. Cats are much better at sensing higher pitched sounds, allowing them to detect hidden prey nearby, such as the sound of a mouse breathing under the leaf litter. Wolves are better at sensing low rumbling sounds, meaning they can discern the location of larger prey from miles away. And the same is true for their eyesight. The cat's slitted pupils allow to strike smaller targets with perfect accuracy, but are not as useful as the wolf's large circular pupils for locking onto prey from a long distance. And as I've already alluded to, the wolf's above average intelligence stat enables some excellent options for teamwork and pack hunting. They can communicate and coordinate over great distances using their howl ability. The combination of teamwork and extremely powerful perception abilities allows wolves to control massive territories. We'll get more in depth into their hunting tactics in a bit. Mobility is their second highest stat, and this greatly assists in their ability to defeat players in higher weight classes. Simply put, wolves have an incredible amount of stamina, and can run for longer distances than pretty much anything it could ever encounter.
Well, if y'all could pick what animal, if y'all could pick any animal, what would you pick? I think I would pick a bear. I think I would pick a bear. A grizzly bear, though. I think that's what I would pick.
Makes sense, as being able to sense prey from a great distance wouldn't do much good if you had no abilities to run them down. So when you add all of this up, just how effective of a build is the wolf?
Y'all think you could beat a singular wolf? You would be an elephant? Really? I've never heard anyone say they'd be an elephant. That's an interesting pick. That's a real interesting pick. Most time motherfucker would pick like a lion or like a tiger or some shit like that. An elephant. That would be kind of fine. Or a giraffe. A giraffe would be fire too. Imagine being able to look all high and shit. See over everything.
Wolf. It really does come down to how effective their pack hunting abilities are. If you were to strip all of that away, I actually think the wolf would be mid at best. Their power stat is way below average for an apex predator, being more in line with that of a scavenger or generalist build. There's no way a lone wolf is bringing down one of the Tundra server's many tanky herbivores. Yet, as a player...
I haven't looked into this in recent times, but did y'all know that elephants are the only animals that get scared of their dead species bones? Like if they see a dead elephant carcass, they'll freak out. Did y'all know that? They're the only species that does that. Other species can like recognize it, but like elephants like freak out.
If all you want to do is grief smaller mammal builds like rabbits and squirrels,
almost as if you stumbled upon a fucking human skeleton.
Is a smaller caniform, like a fox or a mink. In order to get the most out of a wolf's kit, you need to maximize the utilization of the wolf's perception and stamina perks, which are most effective at tracking and hunting larger herbivores.
Yeah, they have crazy memories and they're oddly afraid of mice.
So, wolves really are stuck working together.
They're too small, I think that's the reason. They're scared of mice.
They're scared of mice. To solo a large herbivore. Their kit only makes sense when viewed through the lens of pack hunting. And indeed, the lethality of the wolf's pack hunting tactics is undeniable. Through coordinated attacks and clever kiting, wolves are able to prove that their squads are much more cohesive than that of their targets, and split vulnerable members off from their teammates. And at that point, it really is just a waiting game. Now, it's worth noting that even in a group, it's often still too risky.
The elephants have the longest memory? Do they have the longest memory? Dolphins. Dolphins have the longest memory. Interesting. 20 years, nigga? Oh, don't fuck with a dolphin. Don't fuck with a dolphin, dog. Don't mess with them. Don't mess with them. They're on your ass. There's no study done on this? Why is there no study done on this? This is obviously why all the orcas started murking niggas. If dolphins can remember up to 20 years, bro, an orca can definitely remember like 10, bro. An orca's definitely remembering 10, so he's remembering when you caught his ass. He's remembering when you caught his ass. He's gonna be pissed off. He is going to be pissed off, bro. He gonna be like, yeah, you took me for moms. Drown, bitch. What? Dolphins, oh, yeah. Yep, they do. I've heard of that. I've heard of that. They also do that with things that they, what's it called? They also do that with things that, what's it called? They're prey before they're about to kill it. Before they're about to kill it. Or no, yeah. Or no, it's before they're about to eat it. Before they're about to eat it, they'll do that with the dead bodies. And they'll play with them too. Bounce them around like a ball.
Attack a tanky herbivore. Wolfmanes tend to only attack a fleeing target, so as long as they hold their ground, they shouldn't take damage. But as they tire from fending off bluff strikes, and as their teammates get further and further away, most players will eventually try and make a break for it. And this is where the wolf pack will start dealing damage. By taking turns attacking their back end repeatedly, they'll eventually inflict the Bloodlust status effect, which slowly drains the target's HP, leading to a guaranteed game over, at which point the entire pack splits the loot. This is overpowered in and of itself, but where it really gets broken is when you re-examine the same tactic through the wolf-human team combo. Because all of the things that make the wolves pack hunting work actually function even more effectively when paired with a human. Humans and wolves are similar in that both are exceptional distance runners, allowing them to naturally keep pace with each other and avoid slowing each other down.
That is a what? A human is not pacing with a fucking wolf. What bullshit did you just spit into my goddamn ear? If a wolf is at max, nigga, we are not keeping up for more than 2 minutes. That is just not true. They can keep up with us at the same pace, yes. I'll give you that. But the wording on that is completely misleading.
But in addition to having similar perks, they also cover each other's weaknesses and fill in the biggest gaps in each other's hunting strategy. Humans lack the same perception stat that wolves have. While they can use their intelligence to sort of supplement their weak sense of hearing and smell, there's really no substitute to just having a teammate who can lock onto a scent at a great distance and never lose it. But why do wolves need humans? You may remember, when wolves hunt, they can oftentimes reach an impasse due to their lack of ability to quickly deal lethal damage. Humans do not have this limitation, and can easily break this stalemate using one of their projectiles. The same is true on defense. The wolf's sensory abilities can detect the approach of a dangerous enemy, and alert the humans of the impending threat, a threat that wolves alone would struggle to drive away. And so domestic wolf and human hunter-gatherer players naturally made for an unstoppable force that lasted through multiple balance patches, including the end of the Ice Age and the beginning of the Anthropocene. Eventually, after spending so much time cooperating, many wolf players began speccing their characters specifically to better synergize with humans, such as a passive mental health regen aura, and higher intelligence and better communication abilities, which allowed them to handle more complicated commands, eventually renaming their build entirely from wolf to dog. And because of their optimization towards collaboration,
the fact that we went from that to now is kind of fucking crazy. We got motherfucking chihuahuas and poodles and shit now. We used to be walking around with fucking full wolves, nigga. We were rocking with full wolves, dog.
Even as humans transitioned away from their hunter-gatherer playstyle, dogs still remained a relevant and high-tier choice for their party comp. This isn't to say that the wolf's only good interspecies combo is with a human, though. Among the player base who remained wild, one solid combo is with the raven.
When did it happen? I wonder, like, Was it like a lot of people at once? Or was it just like a few people that woke up one day and was like, yeah, I'm not gonna live in a dumbass hut no more. Let's build with wood. This wood seems like a way better material. Let's build an actual big house. Exactly.
Or crow. They will often seek out a wolf player and lead them to a carcass they'd found far away. These POIs are usually hotly contested and too competitive for a crow to capture by themselves. How do we get this far? So, in exchange for leading the wolf there, the wolf will chase away the other players and share the remaining spoils with the bird. But anyway, in short, wolves broke the game by finding the perfect team comp and being the #1 choice of party member for the most overpowered build the game has ever seen. They were already debatably OP just hunting in wolf packs, but were at least sort of kept in check by their mid damage. But when that limitation is mitigated, their tracking and pursuit hunting abilities are truly unfair to play against. And that's why, despite me only giving wolves a rank of A tier on my Canid tier list, when partnered up with humanity, they are legitimately broken, giving dogs the rank of S tier. Partnering up with other highly capable individuals is pretty much always the optimal strategy, and if you've followed my channel for any length of time, you've no doubt heard me talk about my favorite team.
W motherfucking TierZoo. Another motherfucking TierZoo W. Wolves are OP. Wolves are OP.
You can't come around my gang, you ain't got no fucking motion. You ain't got no fucking motion.